In West Philadelphia, born and raised on the playground is where I spent most of my days. Chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool, and shooting some b-ball outside of the school. When a couple of guys, they were up to no good, started making trouble in my neighborhood. No, wait. That's more like it. Sleepy old Dunedin, Edinburgh of the South. The Timbuktu of Australasia, where hot means cold and cold means freezing. The home is Scarfies and 660 Castle Street. Don't forget your roots, my friend. Dunedin, this is where my journey started. I was born to a mum and dad, surprising, I know, very much in love with each other and living the young and free dream of the late 1970s. Long hair, beards, well, just my dad, not my mum, and all the free-loving, make-love, not war vibes that they could muster. Parents that were hippies meant protests. Anti-war, pro-love protests. My mum still tells me stories of the bullshit and jelly beans protests led by a young, goofy-smiled, wide-eyed Tim Shadbolt. Bullshit and jelly beans. Bullshit and jelly beans. Bullshit and jelly beans. My dad, my hero, my superhero. Short, stocky, stubborn as an ox, a musician, well-respected, well-liked and well-gifted, rocking a beard, rocking the crowds, and loving father of my sister and I. My hero, my dad, loved my sister and I. Unfortunately, my dad also loved his motorbike, Portobello Road, and riding fast. Mix those three together and you've got a recipe for a motorcycle fatality statistic. In October 1982, the sheer cliffs, rocky waterside and narrow windy road saw the end of my dad, the end of my hero. And left this, a sad, broken-hearted little boy. As surprising as it may seem, I wasn't sad because of the multiple cowslicks in my hair, or the early 80s mullet I was sporting. You know, it wasn't even the stylish little suede crushed velvet outfit my mum had me dressed in. I had lost my superhero, but I still had my granddad, my other hero. Until Christmas Day 1982. The seemingly endless hospital hallway, with the echo of footsteps and low quiet voices speaking words of comfort and reason. Over 30 years later, I can still close my eyes and smell that hallway and hear the machines. It was all too much for a heartbroken little 5-year-old. As you can imagine, I was fast beginning to feel like a lone, sad little face floating in a sea of buoyant happiness. My dad, then granddad, the only male role models I had, gone in the space of 3 months. My world was spinning out of control, and that little superhero that lives inside every little boy shrunk into the darkness. Life quickly became about the big questions. Like, who would I go fishing with? Everyone knows that's what dads and sons do, right? I mean, seriously, how on earth was I ever going to get a beautiful silhouette picture as the sun set while I was fishing? Another thing everyone knows that if you don't have a dad to go fishing with, you eventually turn into is an angsty, long-haired, flannel-clad, Dr. Martin-wearing teen. That was my look, my attitude. It was my jam. I was an angry young man. Now don't worry, this sad sob story does perk up, courtesy of a couple of saving graces. The first of which was the pack of women that raised me. My mum, my sister, my grandma, my auntie. Fiercely protective, unswervingly loyal, and passionately encouraging. At every turn of sadness and hurt, or anger and angst, was an "oh yes dear" from my grandma, or another big happy hug from my mum, who also set me up with a record player, my second saving grace, music. I was allowed, even encouraged, to immerse myself in music, shut in my room discovering the joys and mysteries of melody and harmony, rhythms and rhymes. Being raised by my pack of women set me up with some unique traits not typical of a lot of men, such as words. Words. I love them. Hearing them, reading them, understanding them, speaking them. At the end of the day, when my wife has used her quota of daily words, I'm still getting warmed up. Like a pack of wolves howl at the moon together, a pack of women have multiple conversations at the same time. An eye for details. Ladies, when you've had a cut in colour and your husband or partner doesn't notice but your female friends do, well, that's me. New hair, new outfit, feeling a bit sad, feeling a bit off. That's where I come into my own. Are you okay? No. Are you really okay? Multitasking. One man band. Spinning multiple plates at once. Well, not literally because I'm just not that coordinated, but doing more than one thing. Through my journey so far, I've learned to embrace a few life principles, mantras if you will, that I try to live by. Fun. Make time for fun. Life's not to be merely tolerated, but it's to be enjoyed. It comes and goes way too fast to sweat the small, insignificant things. As my family has grown, we've consciously made decisions to create fun. Actually, while we're on it, family. Family for all. My pack of women always had room for one more at the dinner table, or a spare bed, or a spare couch. These faces are blurred, but for a time each of these needed family, needed love, and needed to belong, something so many of us take for granted, and something my family has tried to commit to helping with. Fear. Something we all understand. Not having a place to call our own, not feeling loved, not being worthy, or maybe it's having to eat 4 big-ass tarantulas on TV for all of Australasia to see. Facing fear, even against seemingly insurmountable odds, triggers something in us. As I've embraced the feel the fear and do it anyway ethos, I've started to feel like maybe, just maybe, that little superhero who had hidden away all those years ago might peek his little head out again. That maybe he could grow in stature and courage. And maybe that little superhero might even give me a nudge and help me to share with you the story of a boy raised by a pack of women. Thank you.